Welcome everyone to the Master Vox, where today we have another riveting Squire Joust match. I'll have my co-host, Graham, please introduce the players.
Yeah, so welcome in everybody. So today we have some hot action for you, SD2, here on Tannenberg. So on the left side here in the blue, because I believe we did right on red, we kind of missed that, but it's all good. We're back in action. That is Tourney by GustGod playing Maverick, and on the right, 97th by Papa Nurgle, so a little Warhammer action here, and he's playing 97th Balanced.
Yeah, I think that newer players, especially you can see like he's a tradesman versus a yeoman. The tradesman, I think that balance is a good learning style, and I also really like the division matchup here because we're going to be able to see what I think the 97th using its T-34s in the southern portion. That's going to be my guess to bully in these open little squares.
Yeah, 97th versus Toulon is an interesting matchup because you have Toulon, which was, especially about a year ago, one of the premier infantry divisions for the Wehrmacht in this game, whereas vice versa, 97th, while it has pretty much every tank the Soviet Union you'd want in your deck, it doesn't quite have the availability that you want. And then obviously it has the orbital death ray riverboat off map, but they're two very unique decks in this game going head to head here on Tannenberg, which is a map that I don't love, but I don't hate. So I'm interested to see how this goes. But we see an early 109 here by GustGod, going to go ahead and kill that Zis 2, so that 57 millimeters down. The 57 millimeter was going to kind of inhibit the Stug Führer from pushing up here, so that can now get up there along with the Panzer 39, so a little French action as well.
Yeah, but let's not count out the Soviets here. That IS-1 just needs to move to take up that position, and it should be able to cut off those tanks from GustGod. So Papa Nurgle, Grandfather Nurgle, may bless us with some, action with that IS-1, because I really want to see it get used. See, it's getting brought up, and he's going to...
Yeah, absolutely. And then, one thing quick there, the Martyr 1 for GustGod did go down, so the Zis 2 on the other side of that forest there, on the northern portion of the map, getting a nice little pick, which is kind of what you want to see from, if you're the balanced player, you wanted to kind of stay single tick, if not neutral, the entire time through A phase. You don't really want the Maverick player getting a significant advantage in A, because then he'll just blow you open in B. So I do you want to get those quick little picks. You want to get that IS-1 up there, get a little aggressive with it, because we know that the Focke-Wulf AT plane isn't coming out A phase. So this IS-1, there really isn't a lot for Toulon to counter it.
Yeah, I would just really like to see Papa Nurgle shove that IS-1 down his throat, realizing that nothing can pen it.
Hot.
Just force the IS-1 into the breach, exactly like he's doing now, because nothing in Toulon right now, because there's no 88, there's no heavy 88, there's nothing that can actually penetrate it. So just bully that man with that heavy armor.
Yeah, I completely agree with you, especially with how kind of defensive in certain portions of the map right now GustGod is playing. I used to play Toulon pretty exclusively as one of my premier Field Division League decks, and so I always oriented as a very aggressive. I'm in your face with this elite infantry. I'm trying to leverage that to give me these early win fights, because there's not a lot of depth to Toulon outside of the artillery tab, or if you want to spam grenadiers, which suck, right?
Yeah.
Real quick in the middle, big Stern Pioneer fight here. The Stern Pioneers will win this fight, though the Avtos are going to go really hard because they have the shock bonus as well. But the Stern Pioneers should clean this up, and this is going to decisively go for GustGod. And if I'm Papa Nurgle, I don't think the middle is really where I want to fight. I'd probably just hold the edge, get some maybe an HMG or something like that. The Dushka would do well, and just keep them from overrunning it. But it's going to be very hard to win that in that area for him against Toulon.
The only thing I could say is with him having the availability of 8 Opto Machiki and 1 Opto Kamradi, I would love to see 2-star Opto Machiki just run through these people, because 2-star Optos, fun fact, if you're building your deck and you want to take Optos and B, take them double-star to get 11 of them, and you just watch people melt like butter. So that's just one thing. The Optos at 2-star, if you can get them there, are bloody fantastic.
No, I completely agree with you. It's something to take in notice of for Steel Division players, because a lot of the player base has changed over the past 2 years. I mean, shit, I'm retired. You're retired. So, I mean, here we are still casting the game, but Stern Pioneers being shock along with Optos being shock changes how these CQC engagements happen, and you really want the veterancy bonus, especially if you're going to go with a 10 PPS8 squad, which doesn't have anything external, versus the flames of the Stern Pioneer, which is going to cause your Opto to move, which hence is going to cause it to take more damage. So getting that higher veterancy bonus, he's going to spam a bunch of Optos here, and that probably will be enough if he pairs them with Ognos in front. All he needs, though, is a cheap leader. Get one 15-point infantry leader, put them there, and what you said, I think it's money.
Yeah, no, and I think that we're going to see that counterattack happen in the center. And then Toulon, other than having the Maros, which we can see are in Bravo phase, like, that's the only way. But at the same time, a 2-star Opto is going to just shit on the 1-star Maros. So, again, we're going to see that Soviet, like, not bias, but we're going to see, like, some Soviet infantry actually doing the Lord's work in that center portion. So I'm really excited to see that. But I want to point out, up north, that IS-1 completely bullied all the armor that Toulon brought out. He kind of brought it back after getting double-teamed by some Fokker Wolves, so the casting couch happened up north, but he's still around. He's still ready for round 2.
Yeah, and there's no real damage there. HE bombers against the IS-1 is not going to be effective. That's just, you know, it needs to be pinned for that to, I think, really start to play havoc, and there's nothing here to pin that bad boy. So, I mean, honestly, if I'm GustGod, I really am not focusing where the IS-1 is. I would go containment. Win where you have the advantage, and this is where I think his deck is limiting him in this A phase here. He has elite infantry in this deck, but almost all of it is coming out in B. So while he's going against standard Soviet line infantry, he's basically bringing subpar German line infantry, because we're seeing grenadiers, right? Those aren't Panzergrenadiers, those are grenadiers.
Yep.
Kriegsmarine Pioneers, which are oh, that's MB as well. So yeah, his infantry tab, is very suboptimal for the opening of this game, and it's going to allow a balanced player to kind of dictate here. And we see that right there. Look at the half track up north getting the snipe there, or the surrender on the IG-33, and that's a huge loss.
That is a huge loss, and we're starting to see that armor start to, like, bully him up north. But the crazy part is, with Toulon, he's got flak 88. Oh no, he doesn't take any flak 88s in A phase. What is going on here? You need
so I would I would say, like, real quick, if he listens to this cast, he's overloading B with the detriment of A. You still need to be aggressive in A as Maverick. It doesn't mean you go Vanguard mode, right? But you need to be setting the tone, setting the pace for how you want this next for your explosive portion of your income. And by not having enough units here, he's actually setting himself up for failure. These Stern Pioneers will most likely die as soon as Papa Nurgle kind of gets the attack moves going, but up north, it's kind of been a disaster.
Yeah, and I think one thing that we need to realize, like, if they're newer players, the 88s are absolutely fantastic, especially in Toulon, because you get to bring them out in the Laffies for that 70 kph deployment speed. You can zone out with the IG-33s and the 88s.
Yep.
You can do a containment strategy in the northern portion of Toulon while you focus everything like your Grenadiers, your Panzer 39Hs, maybe some Martyrs in the southern portion, and then you can
the HE cluster.
Oh God, I haven't
used it.
Back in the original day.
It was Garbo when it came out, and I think it's still Garbo.
Oh God, the Cobra just took out one of the 109s. Oh shit.
Huge.
Is he going for the other one?
There. Yeah, he's making a move here. These B-109s, they've overextended here.
But so that Cobra's...
there.
Yeah, that Cobra overextended too. I think it might go down here from that Flak 37.
Yeah, there's a high chance it does. She's smoking. He is trying to get it back around here, get on the tail of this 109. Ooh. No, it's not going to matter. The 37 gets the kill. So, well, that wasn't necessarily horrible right there for Papa Nurgle. He did get one of the 109s. There's only 2 of them in A. So that is kind of a nice little pick there. But you really don't want to be trading out your fighters this early in the game, especially because you only get 2 of the P-39s. The P-39 is an excellent, especially head-on fighter.
Oh yeah, it's what, got the 37 mil in the nose.
Yep. Yeah, she a bad girl.
Oh yeah. All right, so Papa Nurgle, we're seeing him do the Lord's work with that blob in the center of just Optos, some Saparine, and Ogno.
Yeah, he's decisively won that fight, and that's a place where, you know, before I looked at the deck, that's where Toulon should win. The Maros, they're not the once vaunted death machine with Molotovs that they were, and especially against Optos nowadays with Shock, they're really going to trade very evenly. So for the cost, you know what I mean, that's not kind of like that elite. But there's no Brandenburgers here. All the Stern Pioneers that he brought out are dead, right? There's no other even maybe a Kriegsmarine Pioneer just for the satchel. So there really isn't anything here that can match up against Optos paired with some flames and a little superior backup, and this is going to be very difficult to retake, and it might not even be worth the effort long term for GustGod.
Yeah, he might just have to do like a containment strategy with some like 20-point grenadiers and like just let Nurgle infest the forest over there with his like plagues. But the other thing I want to point out is in the southern portion of the map, we're seeing the Gavardia DP supported by the T-34-76s, and it's exactly happening like I wanted it to happen from the beginning, with just those tanks being able to provide infantry support. And I'm eating my words as this T-34 is not moving up and not being aggressive, but...
Yeah, he heard you in real time. He says, I'm going to make you look dumb, caster curse.
Yep.
But no, I completely agree with you. Like, this is something that, like, Toulon has a weakness here, and it's substantial. It's that its baseline infantry sucks. So you really need your elite infantry to carry the day. It's why I spread out my elite infantry in my own Toulon deck, so that way I'm not having in the first 25 minutes of the match worry like, can I get it? He needs a Kriegsmarine super infantry squad right now to like hold this down, because Gavardia DP are substantially better than Grenadiers. Add in your lack of like armor support, because the Panzer 39, that's a what is that? That's an F-35 or S-35.
It's the French 39.
H-35. H-35. Yeah, excuse me. I had to or H-39. That's not going to do anything to these T-34s. And to be real, Papa Nurgle could really push him in down south right now if he wanted to.
Yeah. No,
here we go. We are in B now. Morrow, Kriegsmarine Führers, Brandenburgers.
The super infantry you were talking about.
That's what I mean. Yeah, the Bootbesatzung. Yeah, those guys like. That's all of his good infantry is coming out now, and I kind of worry for him that being at a 12-12 here, while he has ticked Papa Nurgle, he hasn't really lost ground, and he hasn't traded that efficiently. So Papa Nurgle, I think, is in a very strong position here. If he can get through this B phase, he's going to probably win this game. Oh, and Oskin's out.
Oh, Oskin? Oh, it is? Yeah? Oh, yeah. Shit. I'm surprised to see a hero unit. Normally, people just like avoid.
Well, the IS-1 took a side shot there from the Stuk 3. He needs to turn. The Focke-Wulf F8's coming out. There's no AA, so he does get it. Oh, but that's a mistake there by GustGod. He could have killed the IS-1 there with the Focke-Wulf with the rocket. Instead, he goes for Oskin. Now that does mean Oskin is damaged moving forward here, but he had a chance to get that IS-1 out of this game.
Yeah, and I don't know, my brain is lacking a few wrinkles here, but only half of the rockets got used, so I don't know if that's him losing line of sight.
He did. He 100% lost line of sight.
Yep, so he's coming in for that second pass. Now, like, smooth brain me says, do it again. Wrinkle brain me says, divert it to the IS-1.
Yeah, I think he should go for the IS-1 because the IS-1 is severely damaged. It's taken a pin, and it had the HE bombs dropped on it. So I think she's auto dead from just 4 here. Oskin, it's a little hard to tell off the model. Oh, but he sees... Oh, no, he does. He's just straight.
Oh, he doesn't see anything, yeah.
Now, the big thing here, if I'm GustGod, I'm realizing there's not a single piece of AA out in the north here, and you can start getting some damage. And look at this blob here. This Strafniki Opto blob is going to get bombed here. Great fallback order, though, by Papa Nurgle. Very good. That saves so much HP on his infantry.
Yeah, because that half damage from those, what is it, like 50... Oh, no, it's a 250 kilogram bomb, so it's actually a respectable bomb loadout.
Yes, yeah, that's not no... That ain't no bitch bomb load. We see the Martyr 1 there. It's going to lose the fight to Oskin and the IS-1. One thing for Papa Nurgle, I would pair those two a little closer together so that... Oh, he does. Okay, he has them good. I see the +2 there on Oskin.
Yep.
Yeah,
that Focke-Wulf. Damn. Oh, just evac it. Just let it reload at this point. Damn.
Yeah, he really wants to get the kill with it, and I understand that. Though, but I mean, there's no AA, so there's nothing that's signaling to GustGod, hey, maybe you should stop flying the plane all around the map. Well, nothing's shooting at it, so he's going to continue to do that. We finally see a 37 mil coming out now.
Yeah, and I think that 37 mil, like when you're bringing out a super heavy, like an IS-1 or a Panther or an IS-2,
yep,
you always want to bring at least AA with it in that first tick or two that you have it out, just because you know that IS-1 or that IS-2 or that panther, whatever you have that's big and scary, is just gonna like get bombed. All right, so he did go for the IS-1. There we go. Oh.
Yep, he got her. Yeah, it was really a matter of time at that point. That's why he kept her up. That's what I said. It worked out for him. A Flak 41 coming out along with an 88. The 88, I think, is a little... He doesn't really need... The 88 feels like a little overkill to me, but... Plus, the 88 itself actually isn't that amazing of an anti-tank gun. You know, it has 45% accuracy. That isn't, like, anything stellar. It's very rarely going to have anything to boost its veterancy. So I kind of, like... I think just a Pack 40... especially for the price, would be better. Like, you just need 1 or 2 of them. Now, there is a possibility of the IS-2.
Oh, we got a brawl in the center, but the Optos...
Yeah, there we go.
What's going on here?
The Maros, I think, are going to probably... It's going to be tight here. The Superior is going to be crucial. The Kriegsmarine Führer needs to get up here. Yeah, he is. The double veterancy here is critical in this fight. The Optos at 1 are going to lose primarily because of that. The Superior getting all back. Yeah, that right there, veterancy really was critical.
Yeah, because both the Maras and the Optos have shock. So what we need to see here is bring out that Opto Comrade and just load that bitch in that center with either the Tankos you have or the Optos, because you need to re-win that fight.
He's taking heavy Opto casualties. That's probably 5 or 6 squads of Optos dead. There is a Maro squad also coming to reinforce. Yeah. If he wants the middle portion back, he's going to have to use Tankos. But the Tankos, they really do need to be paired with a Opto Comrade like you talked about. Like, that's just... The Maros might eventually lose. The Molotov can be decisive, but it's not what it once was. You know, we remember the day where the Molotov was king in infantry fights. Down south real quick, Stug 3 engaging with Brandenburgers and an H-39. Going to push back a little further on that southern portion. Because if you are GustGod, it's kind of time to start getting an idea of where you want to push so that way you can get your double tick going.
Yeah, and I like how he's supporting this Brandenburger push with the H-39 and the Stug 3. Though... yeah, you know what? I'm happy with it because the Sharpshooter is providing information to the Stug 3, so it's cutting off any reinforcements, and now we see the H-39. Yeah.
The T-34 is going to try and engage here. He does see the Stug. The Stug does not really see him. Yeah, the Stug does not see the T-34-76 there, but that's actually really wild if you look on the line of sight how close that is. Yeah. But all he needs to do is push the Stug forward, maybe a meter, and it would see it.
Yep. Oh god, the Brandenburger just completely dissolved that Opto. Wow.
Yeah, the Brandenburgers are nasty.
Yeah. But I'm looking at the AP shells. The penetration of 100 with that distance, I mean...
The odds are low, though there is a chance.
Yes.
Yeah, but the odds are low that the T-34-76 is going to penetrate the Stug here at this range. Yeah. We see more Brandenburgers pushing up as well.
I'm eating my words. The 76 just penetrated that Stug.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it can happen. I would say the odds were a little low for it, but she's still shooting. The other T-34 is trying to engage the Martyr 1 here, but the Martyr, if he gets the shot here, will get the kill. Yes. So now that is nice there. The Martyr 1 getting the pick off, even being penetrated. You know, keeping his accuracy there.
Yeah. No, with the open top. Oh, there goes that Stug. With that open top bonus to aim it, Martyr 1s are actually pretty good at like these ambush scenarios. Yeah.
Nasty, and especially like you can use them if you get like 2 of them. I bring them double vet. I take the less availability. I bring them double vet, and I use them as like a hit squad to kill heavier tanks. Because you use the APCR for CQC fights, like a knife fight, and they can be absolutely disgusting.
All right, look at the center forest real quick. We have the Tanko blob throwing the Molotovs at the Maros. Oh god, they're just melting.
But look how much damage the Tankos are taking though. Even there, like see both players moving. The Molotov forcing the move on the Maro right there was critical because that first initial Tanko squads right there they took pretty heavy casualties there against already beat up Maros. Yeah. Now the problem is this Kriegsmarine Führer needs to evacuate the dance floor, right? Like smoke up and GTFO, but that one Mara will not be enough to stop this blob of Tanko, so this force is gonna switch sides once again.
Yeah, and then I don't know how many Maros does this man have. He's got 12 of them, so he might be able to do another wave of 6, but he has to invest to get the center.
Yeah, it's gonna call. This is kind of like a lack. I think you can kind of see here a little bit of concentration. Like the Mara, once upon a time, it deleted everything CQC. But you also got to remember, the Mara was really nasty because it has the extra 50 meters of range. In this type of fight, that doesn't matter whatsoever. Now there is, I think, some calculus in like every meter you get closer, it fires like I think does a certain amount more.
It
whatever,
increases your accuracy, which does more guaranteed damage.
Yeah,
but it doesn't matter when you just get Molotoved.
No, yeah, absolutely. I'm glad you knew what it was. But you see right there, this whole dump. This is not what you want as a Maverick player. Yes, do you want to be dumping a lot of units? Totally, that's the whole Mavericks thing of B. But you don't want to be dumping a whole stack to replace the stack you just lost because you're not garnering any momentum. And Maverick, once you start to like lose that momentum, the game pretty much ends because you have there's no longevity. And if we look at his Toulon deck, where's the longevity? It's a 20 card MC of Garbo infantry and a bunch of artillery. Now 97th isn't the deepest deck on the planet, but it is balanced, and that's a pretty big difference.
Now, I think the issue that we're going to see that GustGod might run into, just based off of decks, is the availability of how he can use his anti-tank, and how the 97th, being played by Nurgle, can start putting out lots of armored boxes,
Yeah, I'm curious to see up north here. The north is getting kind of thin for Papa Nurgle. Now this IL-2, but he doesn't get the kill shot on the shoot there. That's quite unfortunate for him.
He didn't even do any damage. It just landed around him.
Yeah, the AA there really disrupting the accuracy. And that IL-2 might go down, and that could be a huge loss. Because that's just, when you're a balanced player and you're investing in planes in A and B phase, what you're really telling...
Olsen down to the back 43.
At the same time, too. Yeah, that's a very negative swing there for Papa Nurgle.
Yep. So let's see if he'd be able to dump some... Like, if he dumps some Strapniki in the secondary fallback position and does a defense in depth, maybe he'll have a better chance to deny the ability of the support equipment, but... we don't know.
We see now, like, the problem with the Flak 41, and while he's using the 88 as kind of like a ghetto IG-33, it's not going to do this nearly as effective job. This does kind of work because the 2,000 meter range advantage here is substantial, and there's nothing really out here for Papa Nurgle to deal with that, and I could see this being like the move. If I was GustGod, I would focus that middle right there, get that flag, I would sit on that for a little bit on the 15-9, and I would dump in the north, because the north is ripe for being broken.
Oh, I'm watching, like, what Nurgle's doing right now. He was running away his Tankos, like, evacuating the dance floor, as you said earlier.
Going in.
But now he's like, fuck it, let's go in.
Yeah, this one Morrow here gonna go ahead and charge him right up into this, in this hot shit. I would start getting fallback orders. I would take the 10-1, fall that back, fall the 8-1 back, and keep pushing the fresh ones up. But it doesn't even matter using that kind of level of micro because he wipes the floor with those Tankos. These two more, they might as well be, that's like the endless buffet at Red Lobster, right? He's just serving up another round of bottomless shrimp, and they're just gonna get consumed here by these Italians.
Yeah, and I think that the Morrows paired, again, with that Kriegsmarine Fuhrer, is going to do the Lord's work. Again, out-veteran-seeing and having shock and having these SMGs fighting against a 1-star. Yeah, they have the Molotovs, but they don't have the reduction in damage that the extra star provides, along with extra accuracy, all that shit. It starts compiling. It's always better to have more veterancy in a knife fight.
Absolutely. Anything, especially in, like, SC2 today, like... If you're going to bring up in the same type of engagement, right? If you're going in a CQC engagement, both of you CQC infantry, the veterancy is going to really matter. And so sometimes in SC2 it can be kind of hard to determine like when you want more vet. But right here, especially if you're not sacrificing availability, all you need is a leader. And for the Tankos, he could have brought a 15-point leader. I think there's two separate times here where Papa Nurgle could have won, or at least had a more highly contested fight in the center, but decisively lost because he didn't have a leader.
Yeah, and what we're seeing right now is just that bottomless shrimp buffet you were talking about as, like, Tankos get thrown in, like, one by one.
Yeah, he is stabilizing the north a little bit, but the 15-9 now is brutal. So we see that one Morrow, he's going to kind of die there. Which, I mean, we could say, like, we can nitpick and say, hey, you could probably do a little bit better here or there. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. This push is smart. This push is the right move. Keep his infantry within range of the Kriegsmarine Fuhrer so they keep their double vet. And they'll keep cleaning that up. Now, I do think that GustGod's biggest problem here is that he needs to kind of just figure out where he wants to finish.
I think it's up north. That's where
I think
a
so
lot
too.
of his support equipment is. Like his mortars were. He's got the Flak 36s, Flak 88s, Pack 40s, and he's actually making an infantry push into the town. with Kriegsmarine Führers to support the infantry. So we have support weapons, we have the actual infantry. So that's where I see, and he's pushing more Besatzungs into the northern portion as well. Even though it is sea face, he's still being aggressive and pushing and trying to maintain that 15-9.
Yeah, and I would say a big thing so far from Papa Nurgle is no off map. And that, I'd have to just say, like, off the bat here, if you're playing 97th, we all know the major reason you're playing is the off map. And not having that out at any moment so far in this game, you know, even bringing the 82mm mortar, which, you know, maybe things have changed, right? I'm not as in tune with the meta as I was 2 years ago or even a year ago, but those were never really that worth it. Like, there's just kind of substantial insert, you know. I would much rather save up and get myself one of them big 152 little Jeeps and drop my Circle of Death somewhere, or the Orbital Death Ray, right? Like, it's, if you're down 15-9, like, you gotta start making the magic happen.
Yeah.
Especially with only 6.5 left. And I don't really see, you know, these Maros, they're gonna just clean up in the middle. He might get another flag here.
Yeah, with just raking over those, like, Strafniki. Oh. But yeah, no, I think that off map would have been a good call for the center, just because you can see where the front lines are with how close everything is. Again, remember, boys and girls, front line shows the 50-50 mark between you and your opponent, so you can know where opponents are. And you know if he's not microing in the center, you could easily use that orbital death ray, or even just the 152, because you get 3 of them, to pin everything and then push your tankos through.
Yeah, you know what's wild, like, watching this 137 pushback that Ju-88, like, not having a 37 with his IS-1 earlier, that just, you know, hopefully Papa Nurgle learns from that, because all it took was one single Vet 37 to push back that plane. Now, while that won't be quite as effective against the Focke-Wulfs, it will stop the BF-109s. And this kind of shows you, like, AA has been substantially buffed over time in Steel Division 2. It's gone through very wild swings. But, yeah, I mean, you look down south here, this Kriegsmarine push, that could maybe break the south here. It's not looking good for Papa Nurgle. You know, the forces of man seem to be kind of triumphing right now.
The God Emperor triumphs, and that's all that matters. But I want to point out something. In the center, 3 tankos tangled with 4 of the weakened Maro squads. Yeah, they were weakened. But the 2 stars on that close combat allowed him to have such good traits, it was just crazy to watch.
Yeah, we just saw the Tango Camarade got blapped right there.
Yep.
We see more units being called out. T-34 along with Cavalry DP. The Cavalry DP, they'll get annihilated in this type of fight here. Brandenburgers, Maros. I mean, there's not a lot of anti-tank up here, but the 88 is pushing down the main road. And what's also wild is no off-map from Toulon. Like, I mean, we haven't even seen any of the... Like, Toulon actually has 2 cards of plane-borne off-map. I actually like both, but I almost always bring the cheaper one in A because you can get 2 of them. Oh, but the Flak 41 just annihilated that poor T-34.
Oh, Jesus, it's washing down that reinforcement road, isn't it?
It just got trashed, yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, the line of sight there is kind of weird.
Yeah, I had to go from the Soviet side, yeah.
Yeah, almost like all of Eugen's new maps.
Yeah.
But, you know, hey, at least the line of sight tool works in this game.
Okay, so that IL-2 did kill at H39. How much help is it going to be? I don't know, but that should help out moving that T-34-76 up, since there'd be nothing
Maybe
that
the
can actually do
Stug right there. You can get the Stug up in this action. Now, that is a double vet T-34, so I'd be a little careful. That is kind of nice, but...
Yeah.
I mean, I think this is pretty much GG.
Yeah, I think that with this being Toulon and us showing the deck earlier, what do you think that, let's say, GustGod could have improved upon? Yeah. And then we'll talk about Papa Nurgle's deck as well,
GustGod, I think, needs to front load his deck more. But you gotta remember, like, you're winning the, like he did trade well, which is important, but he really started trading well in B. And I think that you really need to ensure that you're not running out of infantry in A phase, which he was. So I would front load I would put another squad in A. I would probably just, I don't think you need Maros, Brandenburgers, and the Kriegsmarine boys. Yeah, the Kriegsmarine Death Squad, all in B. I would personally take the Kriegsmarine boys and put them in A, because you still get 6 of them in A, which isn't a bad availability. And they're tanky. They're meant to just soak up damage and then dish it out at long range with their 3 LMGs.
Yeah.
And then you could use Morrow's an A, right? Or maybe if you want to go like Pure and Pioneer, Morrow, CQC domination. But all that also, like, this is a big thing for everybody. Like, it's map dependent. Look at the map that you're playing on, and then tailor your deck before you go into the game for the map.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with that. Also, I'm going to point out that if he had those 88s in A phase, he would have been able to at least attempt to deal, or at least the heavy 88. I don't know what you're feeling there. To deal with that IS-1, knowing that there's IS-1s in that deck. But all in all, I'd like to say that both players did a great job. And again, we're watching and commenting on the Squire Joust, so we just want to help out these new players as they go. And what I'd like to remind you guys as the viewers is, hey, just like, comment, and subscribe. I gotta grow the channel somehow. Yeah.
Like.
Yeah.
And watch.
And watch.
Tell your wife. Tell your boyfriend. Tell your girlfriend. Tell your mom. Tell your grandma to tune in and watch this hot action. And
with that little PSA from the Graham Slam, I'm going to say for you guys to have a great rest of your week, and we'll try to get you some more SD2 content coming up soon. So, bye, y'all.